Tasting like a boss, outside edition. And just like last year when we did a recap of the Nightmare Before Christmas flavors from Bones, I thought it'd be a good idea to give a quick recap on the fall 2023 flavors from Bones, which were 3 flavors. If you've watched the reviews already, you already know. I encourage you to go back and see the actual tastings, but we're going to run through this. Now, there will be a tasting here tonight. I'm going to save that to the end, okay? But the flavors were Paranormal Brew, which is a spiced caramel pear flavored coffee. Apple cider donut, which was, of course, an apple cider donut flavored coffee. And sweet tater swirl, which was a cinnamon sweet potato flavored coffee. So let's just run through them real quick, okay? So first one up, we're gonna do the sweet tater swirl. Sweet tater swirl. We did cold brew, drip, and espresso. So my thoughts on the cold brew was it's really good. This actually, as far as I'm concerned, it should have been what the web slinger flavor, the Spider-Man flavor from Bones should have been. Why? Because I think the addition of the cinnamon in this one really amped up that marshmallow flavor. Web slinger kind of fell flat. This, on the other hand, did have a good marshmallowy flavor. I didn't really taste a lot of sweet potato in it, but it was a really good cold brew. For drip, it was just a good cup of coffee. I wouldn't use it for drip. That doesn't mean you can't, but not for me. And as far as espresso, it was good. It was quite good. I'm not sure if you taste like sweet potatoes necessarily, but it was good. So moving off the sweet potato, let's move to apple cider donut. By far the biggest letdown of the season. As a cold brew, it did not work. It was a non-earthy cold brew with no flavor. That's good if that's what you want to have a cold brew for, but if you're going to do that, why would you use a flavored coffee? Doesn't make sense. As to drip, no to that as well. It was okay cup of coffee. It wasn't even a good cup of coffee. It had no flavor. And on espresso, it was just a weak espresso. Now, for those out there who say, hey, you should have brewed it longer in cold brew, remember, I cold brewed this one for 48 hours. Now, we did a video afterwards where I combined this with caramel apple together, and the cold brew was quite exceptional. I enjoyed it for a couple more days after that. In fact, it was really, really good. So if you want to have apple flavored coffee, that's how you can do it. Final one, and this is the biggest winner as far as I'm concerned for 2023. Didn't think it was going to be, and it was the Paranormal Brew, which is again their spiced caramel pear. On the cold brew, it isn't as good as Peaches and Scream is, but it's really up there. Not sure if I would know it was pear right off the top, but it was another fruity tea sort of coffee. Very refreshing. I think it would be good in the summer, in the fall, whatever. Very, very good. On drip, yes. Leads with coffee flavor with pear taste afterwards. It actually worked. So there you go. And finally on espresso, I was surprised that it worked in espresso. Thought it was gonna be sour. I thought it was peaked to sour. It didn't. Leveled out, and then it had this nice essence of pear at the end. Now, if you didn't tell me it was pear, I just would have thought there was an essence on the end. But if you tell someone it's a pear espresso, they're gonna know. And so this was the big winner of the season. So big winner, second place, and then apple cider donut, not a winner as far as I'm concerned. But let me touch on a few things if you guys don't mind. One, I know that my videos can be kind of harsh when it comes to flavors and flavored coffee. Some of you will say, hey, you could add some creamer to it. In fact, there was one flavor from the Nightmare Before Christmas that I said, I think it might have been Rough Weather, where I thought if you put a little cinnamon in it, it really brings the flavor out. I try not to do that though, and here's why. I like my flavored coffee cold brew. I like, if I'm paying the money to have a flavored coffee, I want the coffee to have that flavor without adding it on and egging it on. So that's just me. I know for a fact that there's some of you out there who really love this flavor, but I don't know if I've heard one of you say you liked it as a cold brew by itself, or a drip by itself, or an espresso by itself. So it doesn't mean I'm right 100% of the time, but I think those people tasting it for what they are, the way I taste it, kind of have the same consensus on these flavors. With that being said, I want to bring up one other thing. I love the graphic department at Bones. These are all beautiful covers. However, if I were to say this is the fall lineup and I showed you this, I don't, for whatever reason, even though each cover is distinct, I don't feel that they pop when compared to each other. And I think why really has to do with this one here, pear, and apple cider donut. Taken in isolation, they're amazing bags. Taken in isolation. However, because the individuals on there are so small compared to their other bags, actually this is a little bit smaller than other bags as well, I don't think it pops as much. But you know, that's just a nitpicky kind of thing, and quite frankly, this cover here I just love, and I think you lose something if you do zoom in more on the people because you don't see everything else that's going on. But that's just for me, just want to throw that out there. So is there a tasting tonight? You know it. What are we doing? I want to taste all of fall 2023 in my mouth at one time. No drip, no espresso, no. What we have is a Kamikaze 2023 fall cold brew. That's right, boys and girls. I took 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3, and I mixed them all together, and I ground them all together. Everything I had, I measured out properly, and then I cold brewed that for well over 24 hours. Is this gonna be good? I do not know. Do I care? Not really. I thought it'd be fun. So, to say goodbye to fall of 2023 for Bones and the Bones collection. I'm sure it's not the only thing from Bones, and it definitely isn't the end of my coffee experiences, but to shut out fall 2023 collection, let us taste like a boss. What might be a horrible mistake, a combination of sweet tater swirl, apple cider donut, and pear a normal brew. And who knows, maybe it'll actually taste like apple, right? Let's see what happens. Tasting like a boss. Sniffing first. There's a lot going on, but it's mostly just coffee. Here we go. Tasting like a boss, guys. It's like everywhere. It's good. It's really good. I'm getting the earthy tones. I'm getting the pear. Interestingly enough, I think I can taste apple. Let's put it this way. This is really good. It's got a dynamic flavor. It's all around. I mean, it's hitting every part of my tongue. It tastes really good. They're competing with each other, but in a good way. I actually brewed 2 of these because I think I got more grinds ground than I needed. But I can tell you, I'm not upset about it. This is definitely not going to go to waste. It'll probably be gone the next day and a half. All right, guys. Well, hey, hopefully you guys have had a good time. Got some other coffees coming up. I have a tea, as I've indicated. I haven't done it yet. Sorry. But hit like, hit subscribe, hit alerts, share this with your friends. Thank you for going on this journey with me. And as always, if you have some comments, put them down below. I've gotten some really great comments and some really good suggestions, some of which were already in my mind, so I'm glad you're going there. And other ones where I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about that, now I have to try. Thank you. You guys make this fun for me. So until next time, you know what I'm gonna say. Keep tasting like a boss. See you guys.